Welcome back everybody to a continuation of the Need for Speed reviews that I will be continuing. My last review being Carbon, you would think that Pro Street would be the next one I would be talking about. However, while I do own a copy of Pro Street on EA Origins, they refuse to let me play even though I paid money to own it. So I have no idea what is going on right now, so until I can get my hands on a physical copy of Pro Street now, I am going to be reviewing the later titles for right now. But don't worry, I will be getting to Pro Street when I can. But with that out of the way, I am here to talk about the Need for Speed game that I played quite a bit growing up, but not enough to warrant any kind of nostalgia for me. And that is Need for Speed Undercover. Undercover was released in 2008 for the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PSP, Nintendo Wii, Xbox 360, and the PC. Here we are talking about the PC version. So I remember when Pro Street came out, so many people were disappointed because it went in a whole new direction by making you drive legitimate races and courses. Almost everybody were clamoring for them to go back to the most wanted formula, street races and cop chases. And that is exactly what we got. Now, I remember when I played Undercover when it first came out and I was very excited. The trailers for this game got me so hyped. When I played it for the first time, I gotta admit, I was very underwhelmed by it and not too impressed. And honestly, even to this day, I do believe it was a step backwards compared to what they were doing with Pro Street. Pro Street was such a well put together game that when this came out, I feel like they were scaled back by a couple years. So when it was time for me to boot this game up to review it, I was actually excited and nervous at the same time. Nervous because I felt like I wasn't probably going to enjoy playing this game, but I was excited because it has been such a long time since I have played it that hopefully my opinion of this game will change. So how do I feel about Need for Speed Undercover in 2021? Well, you know what? I had a pretty damn good time playing it. There are some flaws that I feel that need to be addressed, but besides that, at the end of the day, it is a decent racing game. The biggest thing I liked about it was that even though the story is pretty dumb and predictable, I do love that everything is live action, even the cars and the set. They did away with the green screen effect, and honestly I think it was a good idea. Still very cheesy and campy, but I still enjoyed it for the most part. The game takes place in a location called Tri-City Bay Area, where it has 3 cities on different points of the map separated by a large highway system. The map isn't that bad. In fact, I really enjoy driving on the large highway, going at extreme speeds, running away from the cops. So the premise of the story is that you are an undercover cop, you could have guessed, who is trying to take down this crew of racers that are using vehicles to smuggle things, if that is right. I'm going to be completely honest, the story went right over my head. So throughout the game, in order to progress through the story, you have this wheelman rank that you must increase. Goes up to the max about 15, I believe. And in order to do that, you must complete these races and challenges. Now, unlike in games like Most Wanted or Carbon, where you are forced to do specific races, in Undercover, you can complete any kind of race for as long as you are increasing that rank to where you need it to be, so that way you can progress through the story, which I really like. It gives you a bit of more freedom, which I enjoy. So in this entry of Need for Speed, they took out officially both drag and drift modes and have different challenges such as highway battles and bringing back Outrun that was featured all the way back in Underground 2. Highway battles takes you versus another driver down the highway in heavy traffic. It automatically puts you in this bumper cam view, which is interesting, and you either must leave your opponent in the dust by getting 1,000 feet away from them or by at least staying in front of them by the time the clock ends. I really enjoy this mode because it's new and different, but the only issue that I have is that really honestly it's just you against the traffic, because that is your biggest opponent, because if you can at least dodge the traffic, then you are pretty much set to win every time. So the cop chases are back, and this time it actually matters compared to what they were like in Carbon. You can either have the choice to damage the city to a certain point, take out a number of cop cars, or evade a police chase under a time limit. So pretty much all the things you can do for Bounty and Most Wanted, but separated as different challenges. I really like this because it gives the cop chases purpose again, other than just being an afterthought in Carbon. There are certain points in the game where you will have to do certain challenges for story purposes, like either you must deliver this stolen car without getting it damaged, evade the cops and get it delivered in time, or steal a cop car and evade the police. I like this because it offers new challenges throughout the game and it doesn't make it become stale over time. The car selection in the game is pretty good by giving you choices between American, European, and Japanese cars. There are 4 tiers of cars, and while I do love the selection, it honestly doesn't take that much to acquire the more expensive cars in the game because it is very easy to earn money because it gives you so much after completing races over time. Which I don't mind, but the challenge aspect wasn't always there. The game did feel like at times that it was very easy, and I do remember that being a big complaint about this game in the past. You do have the option to customize your ride, but I really had no incentive to do that, only if I was just trying to lower the heat bar from my ride. The way the controls feel for the cars are fine, but I'll be damned if I don't bring up this J-turn system. Don't get me wrong, it is nice to have it when you are in a pinch and you need to turn around very fast, but it is so annoying when you are simply just trying to turn your car and it goes out of control and you are sliding everywhere because the game thinks that you are trying to use this new mechanic. It just made things more difficult than it needs to be, and the handling was just so out of control. I only thought this was the case with rear-wheel drive cars, but when it started happening with my precious Skyline, that's when it got very annoying. Thankfully, if you do upgrade the handling, it does become more manageable. Now, I want to talk about the graphics because I don't know who it was, but somebody was getting very carried away with the bloom effect because dear God is it blinding in this game sometimes. The game doesn't look that bad graphically for the most part, but I did come across some shadow issues, but the bloom effect is insanely maxed out with no way of turning it off. Lastly, the music in this game is just top notch, with the original soundtrack being very good with the dramatic themes that it has, but the songs that they choose for the races and menu music is honestly just great. Probably my 3rd favorite so far in the franchise, right underneath Underground and Most Wanted. So yeah, I think after this playthrough of Undercover, I think I gave it way more hate than it deserved over the years. I wouldn't put it over games like Carbon or Most Wanted or hell even the Underground series, but it isn't a game that I don't see that belongs in the trash. I am looking forward to talking about Pro Street with you guys soon, but until I can get a physical copy of it, I will be continuing my reviews of Need for Speed games. Guys, my name is Pedro Ordonez, also known as Gamelight7. Please subscribe, comment, like, thumbs up, do whatever you guys can to support this channel. Let me know what games you guys would like to see me review in the future in the comment section down below, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Peace out.